talk to me about Chatter, and it was intuitively a great idea. It's obvious that this is a change that's going to last forever. I mean, this way of doing business just makes sense. I want BMC to be a company where the employees feel like I'm really working for a leading edge company that's setting the pace, not a follower, but a leader.
I think this is part and parcel to how enterprises will operate going forward. What I love about Chatter is that the conversations really focus around our customers, they focus around products, and it brings all the discussion together in one location. It's an opportunity to learn exactly what people are thinking, how they're actually interacting, making sure that in general we're moving in the right direction.
When people are sitting around a room and they ask a question, I wonder how such and such is going. Now I see somebody whip out their iPad and go, well, let's just find out. Used to be those types of questions were ones that would cause a meeting to come to an immediate halt. You just have to stop. Well, that type of instant communication, through the entire company, gives you almost, again, a small company feel. You can actually begin to engage with everybody.
Since Chatter's come in, which has been about 3 months, I've had more innovative ideas from people in the company than I've had in the last 12. It's a wonderful place to be at the moment, and I'm really, really excited. I can see our company embracing things like Chatter and Salesforce and using them to really drive our top line and our relationship with our customers and our staff. Companies that don't understand that or don't have those facilities within their own existing organization will find it harder to recruit talent and will lose significant competitive advantage.
The biggest thing I see in Chatter is it clearly starts driving down the volume of email traffic. It's information being sent to people who need it. Wherever I am, I can now very effectively communicate with the 18,000 people at our company. I would tell you the biggest game changer that you're going to see over the next 5 years on productivity in corporations is how they use social media, and we've chosen to use Chatter.
Appreciate it very much.
You know, Chatter is really become the leader in the employee social network as I manage. Profiles, status updates, file sharing, groups, feeds, app updates. I'm sure everyone here has been using these exciting features of Salesforce Chatter. We have more than 100,000 active Chatter networks, 100,000 active companies using Salesforce Chatter. But today we're very excited to make another major product announcement with a number of exciting new features regarding Salesforce Chatter. We're going to show you today Chatter Now. Chatter Now is all about knowing who in your company is now live on Chatter or in a Salesforce app. We have presence in our system. So you can see who's in Salesforce, who's using the applications, and you can instantly communicate with them. You can have an instant message with them. You can share with them. And not only can you do instant messaging, but right away you can share your screen with them as well. You can collaborate right on a dashboard, on a document, because that's one of the things that we've learned, that the key to building a great employee social network is integrating collaboration into your workflow, into your business process. It's not just about a collaboration as an island. It's about integration. It's about that integration. And we're also introducing Chatter Connect, because we recognize we're not the only employee social network out there, and you're going to want to connect, and you're going to want to be able to provide RESTful services back to other employee social networks. And you're also going to want to integrate with legacy, difficult to use, old style collaboration systems like SharePoint and Lotus Notes. That's why we're providing Chatter for SharePoint. And Chatter inline filters, so you can filter the information in direct time. And Chatter approvals, so you can do workflow right inside your Chatter feeds, approve things instantaneously. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please let me introduce you to Kraig Swensrud, our Chief Marketing Officer, to give a great demonstration of this new technology. Kraig, take it away.
Wow, thank you, Mark. I'm very excited today to be able to showcase so many of the new features of Salesforce Chatter. Let's get right to it. Let's bring it up and show you this social collaboration for the enterprise. Now, you see we're in the Chatter app at the top of the screen, and that means all the core functions of social networking are represented, whether those are the user profiles, or the groups, or the feeds, or the files. But of course, the core of every social network is the user profile. And you know this from using Chatter. Of course, it looks and feels and it acts like Facebook, but it's private and secure for your company. And one of the great things about Chatter is not only can you follow the activity of other colleagues across your company, you can follow pieces of data. You can follow documents. You can follow a business process. And then everything streams to you in real time right here in your Chatter feed. Your Chatter feed is really your news feed for your company. It's relevant to you in every single thing that you care about. And that's really how you've been using Chatter. You're collaborating on a sales process, whether that's a document, with everybody having a single version of the truth. Chatter has really started to bridge the divide between different departments. Like sales and marketing can work together on a campaign, and maybe that's a social media campaign. And maybe you want to share that video, right inside of the Chatter feed. The new capability coming with Winter 12 in just a couple weeks. One of the really interesting use cases that surprised us was that we saw you taking pictures, sharing stories from meeting rooms, streaming that information back to headquarters, and people chiming in and streaming information back as the meeting was going on. And of course, what you have been telling us you want an open system. So we introduced the Chatter Connect API, where now third-party systems can stream information into Chatter, like this expense report. And because it's all built on our common platform, the social enterprise platform, you can do approvals right in Chatter. Workflow approvals right inside of your Chatter feed, and you see this now becoming really the new user interface of Salesforce. And of course, as Mark was mentioning, it's never overwhelming. It's always relevant, and you can filter it down. You might say, just show me my accounts. Just show me my support cases that I want to stay on top of. Just show me my customers. And how do I stay on top of my customers and make sure that I am delivering phenomenal customer service? Well, let's go ahead and drill right in. When Dan clicks on this hyperlink here, we can drill right from the Chatter feed because it's deeply integrated to the underlying system. So we see Stacy, our customer Stacy, her entire social profile. The contact page has gone social. Not only do we know more about Stacy than ever before, but what Chatter and social collaboration bring to a modern social enterprise is the ability to act, to work inside of our company together. This is a really common scenario. A customer has a question, and how fast can you answer that customer's question? And the great thing about social networking is, unlike the old paradigms like email, you don't have to know exactly who to call inside of your company. You don't have to spam the entire company. You post the question on Chatter, and somehow the answer finds you because of crowdsourcing. Check out the gentleman Ken at the bottom of the screen. We might not even know who Ken is, but he's posted an answer, and it's got 10 likes on the comment. This is probably the guy with the expertise inside of the company. And if we wanted to actually get a hold of Ken, as Mark was mentioning, we can Chatter now. Presence and instant messaging capability now inside of Chatter for your entire enterprise. That means you can hover over anybody's face in the application, see if they're online, and start an instant messaging conversation now. Chatter for your entire company. You don't have to fumble around and wonder which system to use because everybody is already on Salesforce. And of course, with instant messaging, so commonly you want to share a file or a link to a file. And our gentleman Ken may actually have the answer. He can just share a hyperlink right in the IM window, right as part of Chatter now. And as maybe an account manager, when we open up that screen, we get a link to the file because files is part of Chatter. This is really one of the killer apps that we've seen come about in the past 18 months, the ability to have file sharing right inside of the system. Just as easily as you can share photos on Facebook, you can share files now inside of Chatter. And if we want to get this back to the customer, here's what's really cool. We've got this amazing social collaboration happening inside of our companies with all of our employees. But wouldn't it be amazing to just bring our customers into that experience? Why can't we bring our customer into the experience? Well, now you can with Chatter groups. Check this out. Here are all the groups that you've been using for customer references, for real-time competitive info, for Northwest teams, for operations, for strategy. You can create a group for anything you want. User empowerment. And you now can create a group that involves your customer. Let's go ahead and open it up, Dan. And what you can see over here on the left-hand side of the screen is it looks like a normal Chatter group, but take a look. If we can zoom in there, you can see that there's 12 people from your company in this group, and there's 3 of your customers. You can bring your customers into a private Chatter group and socially collaborate with them right here. For what, you might ask? Well, it's happening today. It's just that it's using legacy technologies, like working together on a meeting agenda, planning for a business meeting, sharing a proposal, sharing marketing collateral, wondering what's happening with the implementation plan, working together on an RFP, These are the common experiences that you need to work together on with your customers. And of course, this is what differentiates you as a business. If you want to bring Stacy into this feed, it's pretty simple. Just drop her email address in. You could do it from the contact page. And what does Stacy see? Let's go ahead and bring up our customer screen. Our customer just gets an email, they log into Salesforce, and they're in the customer group. Now, they don't have access to all the private and secure information at your company. They just have access to that group. Now, you can collaborate with your customer right here inside of the newest version of Chatter. And of course, file sharing. If you want to get that file back out to your customer, you all know how to do it. Just pull it out of the file system, put it in the Chatter feed. We'll just go ahead and post that on the left-hand screen. And when Dan refreshes the right-hand screen, you all know it, it's real time. The entire system operates in real time. But again, as Mark was mentioning, the entire world is already mobile. We're showing web browsers up here. Well, what about mobility? Well, you have been using Chatter Mobile already. You've been using it on your iPads and your iPhones, your Blackberries and your Droids. But now with the newest version of Chatter, we're going to extend Chatter Mobile out to your customers. So when your customers want to access all of this capability through their mobile device, they can now do so. Let's go ahead and bring it up. We'll show you the newest version of Chatter Mobile for the iPad. Now you're going to notice that it looks very similar to the existing version of Chatter Mobile. We've moved some things around, but now your customer can install this app on their iPad, pinch open documents, read the entire feed, stay on top of what's happening with your company. This is how you stay in touch with your customers. And of course, something we've never previewed before. Let's go ahead and bring it up, Dan. Let's go ahead and bring up Chatter Mobile for the Google Android Honeycomb platform. Because now, with all of these new tablet devices, you expect to be able to have access to the feed, your entire news feed from any device. So here is Chatter Mobile on the Google Android Honeycomb. You see it with your customer, you see it across your enterprise. This is really the new world of social collaboration. It's the basis for today's modern social enterprise. Thank you. Back to Mark.
Great job, Kraig and Dan. Isn't that amazing? Chatter customer groups. Now your customers can be part of your Chatter network. You can invite employees outside of your company dynamically right inside to your Chatter network. And they're firewalled off from all your other information, but you can collaborate with them, you can share files, presentations, key documents. It's an amazing advancement. I want to thank my technology team for their amazing job on Chatter customer groups. And we have a great user here of Salesforce Chatter I'd like to introduce you to, and would you please all welcome rock legend Neil Young. Neil, welcome to Dreamforce.
Thank you, Mark. I'm using Chatter on my new movie. We built this movie in several cities at the same time using your product. It's a great product. We were able to mix in one city and look at it on the screen during the master mix for the film and make changes in another city, bring the mix in, have it be ready as soon as we needed it. And we're also using it on our new high-res for the masses product. It's a whole new thing that we're building, and we're using it every day in that.
Neil, your movie's amazing. We saw it, obviously the general public hasn't seen it yet. It's going to get debuted at the Toronto Film Festival. We've been so excited to work with you, and I got lucky to be included in the Chatter group, and Jonathan Deming, who is putting the movie together as your director. I mean, to see him commenting on the movie and exchanging the files was really incredible.
Well, it was very fast. Everything happened very fast. It was like everybody's in the same room all the time. We're all talking to each other and being creative, and we're doing the same thing. We're trying to find a name for our new company. We have two different groups on Chatter. One wants Sales Tone, and the other one's Tone Force. And they're turning into this unbelievable, battling tribal groups.
Now,
so
Neil,
I wanted to contact
you're
you about
referencing
that.
now for quite a few years. You've been talking about kind of how MP3 is really the wallpaper of the music industry and doesn't bring forth the right feeling that music used to have, with the very high highs and the very low lows, because a lot of the music is cut off when it's compressed. And you're trying to bring it back with high-def music, is that right?
That's right. That's what our company's doing. We want to return the visceral experience of listening to music and make MP3s and streaming the new radio. So that if you hear something you like and then you really want to hear it, then our service will provide the extremely high-res, best it can be file.
Neil, you know what? You've been a tremendous viewer of society and culture now. Got some buyers in the back for that music, which is very exciting.
I love that music.
I do too. I'm back to vinyl in my house, actually.
Yeah, you were listening to it with your grandma.
That's right. I was playing her old records.
Imagine that. And then and Mark emails me and says, "I can feel the music. I can feel it. I know what you're talking about. It's fantastic." That's what we're going to do, and we're using Chatter every day building this company.
Let me ask you, Neil, you're a viewer of our society and our culture. What do you think is going on with this social media and this mobile technology? What is the shift that we're going through? Can you give us some commentary, as a great viewer of the world?
I see what everybody else sees. Obviously, the Arab Spring was a real shocker for everybody. And then what you mentioned about being about a kind of an Arab Spring for companies and CEOs and leaders who aren't in contact with their people. There's something there that was, I got a little chill when you were talking about that. I was hoping that the company, employees wouldn't get too upset with some of their CEOs, but
amen to that.
They got to be nice, but I think it'll improve everything. I mean, I feel good about it.
Fantastic. Hey, Neil Young, thanks for being at Dreamforce once again. Neil Young, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Neil. Now, we've been talking about collaboration. We've been talking about the power of collaboration, but there's another key part of building your employee social network, and that's about connecting and selling. And as I've been saying, I've been traveling around being inspired by so many of you, and one of the reasons we really got to this point where he said, employee social networks are about including all this business process is when we got to Groupon in Chicago. And when we got to Groupon in Chicago, we saw this amazing company. In fact, Neil actually was just there himself as well. And the vibration of the company and the energy is just spectacular. And they're growing at an unbelievable rate, 22,000%. I don't know who wouldn't like to have that growth rate. And the way they achieved it is their best practice was they hired as fast as they could 5,000 salespeople and got them working together in a sales cloud. And that just blew us away. The speed of growth, the speed of hiring, the level of collaboration, the level of communication. And you can see Dan is demoing actually some of the things that we saw at Groupon. It was awesome. And the way they integrated custom applications to do deal management and deal scoring and being able to manage their redemptions and plan their cities that they're going into. It was really inspiring. It really inspired us. And when we looked out there at how do you include those sales forces into your employee social networks, we said, you know what? That's a critical part of this. We got to talk about that. The contacts and accounts, the opportunities, the collaboration, workflow, analytics, the file sharing. And you have shown us how you've been more successful by building those sales clouds. In addition to that, what we saw was that we needed to add even more capability. You've seen now with how we've extended Chatter, with Chatter customer groups, and with Chatter Now. Well, we're also extending the Sales Cloud as well. We've added social contacts. We're adding social sales, so you can sell as a team and close deals faster. Collaborative forecasts. And those are just 3 of 150 new features you're going to learn about here at the conference for Winter 12 that you're about to get on. You're about to actually get access to for the very first time. And in addition to this, we also saw something amazing. And that was that for all of you, you want to include customer data in what you're doing. And that's why we're introducing another new service here at the conference, data.com. Data.com. And with data.com, you can access the world's leading data providers right inside your Salesforce systems, letting you import data and clean it up and make it exactly as you need it for your company. And we've licensed critical data around the world, including Dun & Bradstreet's account database, so that you can now directly have access to all of this data, and including all of the data that we had in our service called Jigsaw, now called data.com. And combined with those 3 critical features of Winter 12, the 150 other critical new Sales Cloud features, and data.com, we think the Sales Cloud is more exciting and more dynamic than ever before. And there's one more exciting part of the Sales Cloud for Winter 12 that I want to talk about and that you're going to see at this conference. I want to take a step back. We talked about the power we talked about the power of what's changing in hardware, the new tablets, the mobile devices, the next generation computers. And that hardware is being complemented by something that we really haven't seen in this industry for decades. And that is a huge shift in software. That the change in hardware is being complemented by a huge change in software. And that change in software is called HTML5. And for those of you who have been watching HTML5 and seen what's been going on, it's as important as HTML was when it first came out. And what HTML5 is going to give us is the ability to build applications that run natively on these devices, but that are managed as a service. And we've seen some of those already emerge from Amazon with their Kindle Cloud Reader, with app.ft.com, with LinkedIn and Google. They're running on your device. They're running on your iPad. They're running on your iPhone. But they're running in that service provider's capability. Incredible. Amazing. And really transformational. When you put the next version of hardware and the next version of software together, you get a next generation platform. And for us, of course, we are huge believers in HTML from the beginning. We built our whole service on HTML. It's a no-brainer for us to rapidly adopt and rapidly accept HTML5. But by doing that, by bringing HTML5 rapidly into our platform, how you're going to use Salesforce on these mobile devices is going to change. Now, a lot of you, I watch you when I'm out on the road. You've got your iPad, you've got Safari, you're accessing Salesforce, and maybe you're pinching it open, typing your login information. But that's really a matter of that the formatting on the device could look a lot better and could even look like it was 100% native. And that's what we want to do with our new service, touch.salesforce.com, that we're announcing here at the show today. And with touch.salesforce.com, not only are all of our applications going to run natively on these devices with HTML5, but all the apps that you have already built, all your custom objects, your custom tabs, your custom fields, your custom page layouts, we're going to bring those forward into this new platform. So all of the hard work, all of the investment, all of the things that you've been doing to be totally successful with the platform are now running natively on these devices. Amazing. And you're going to see it today. All right. Kraig, let's see the demonstration. Please welcome back Kraig Swensrud, our Chief Marketing Officer.
Mark, thank you. Look, the Sales Cloud is the world's #1 sales application, and the Sales Cloud has completely gone social. Let's go ahead and bring up a demo and show you some of this new technology in the Sales Cloud. Well, you can see we've selected the Sales app. Look in the upper right-hand side of the screen, and that means all the core functions of Salesforce automation are represented. Managing your customer accounts, your opportunities, your big deals, your dashboards. We see some of that in the middle of the screen. But for our sales rep, Steve here, who works at Cirrus Technologies, he starts his day in the chatter feed. And as a rep, take a look at the top of the screen. Anything that was shared with your customer through that group in the earlier demo today, the sales rep can now stay on top of. And right below that, the analytics are now part of the social collaborative experience. A sales manager saying, hey, this is the pipeline chart. This is what I want to review at the forecast call on Friday. And of course, you can drill through. Let's take a look at some of the analytics, Dan. And of course, this is a core aspect for any sales rep or manager, understanding where you stand against your quota. What are the big deals? What does the pipeline look like? Where you stand on the leaderboard. And now in Salesforce, of course, you know that you can create any dashboard with drag and drop. But for sales reps, what it's all about is it's about drilling through to the underlying opportunity, and it's about tracking your deals, working your deals and closing these transactions, staying on top of your deals with your team. Of course, this is a screen that you know and love. It's the opportunity page to manage this deal with Hudson Hotels for almost $600K. You track your close date, your stage, your probability, and all the pricing. But of course, on every single opportunity is the chatter feed. And this is where your deal team can work together privately and securely to close this transaction. For things like pricing approvals, how do you get that pricing approval, that discount maybe from your boss? How do you share a strategy that you're working on maybe down at the local coffee shop and share that back to the team in real time? How do you map out the organization? Who are the key influencers? Who are the key decision makers on your deal? And for every sales rep, of course, what you know it's all about is creating the killer pitch. The pitch that's going to differentiate you from your competition and help you win your business. If you want to loop somebody else into the feed, you can just do an @ mention, right? Bring in maybe the sales engineer. Take a look at this deck. Maybe we should add a slide. Maybe we should tweak things. One single version of the truth right here in Salesforce. But of course, everybody is mobile. And that's what you've been asking for. Let's go ahead and bring up for the first time here at Dreamforce 2011 touch.salesforce.com. Because you have been asking for all of Salesforce, not just the chatter interface. All of your opportunities, all of your accounts, all of your contacts, all of your dashboards. And you can see here on the screen when Dan brings it up for the first time, it looks like a native experience on the iPad. But it's not. It's an HTML5 app with all of the touch gestures built in. So Dan, where are those other features? Where are all of the standard objects of Salesforce? Let's go in and pull the top of the screen down. And there you can see the menu bar for touch, all of your accounts, your dashboards, your opportunities, even your custom objects like orders that you see right here. And if we want to drill into one of these accounts, maybe let's take a look at our account Hudson Hotels. You see the entire screen renders to fit the form factor of the device. And as Mark mentioned, all of your customizations. You've got a custom field, you've got a custom page layout, it renders directly in touch. Nothing you need to do. All of your related lists. Let's pull up a contact. Stacy, we were looking at Stacy earlier on today. Let's take a look at the chatter that's happening around Stacy, our customer. Fly those screens back out the side. Maybe bring up a custom object like an order. Any custom object, any custom app that you have built on Salesforce is automatically part of the touch experience. And of course, what Dan is showing right now is all of the analytics. You build your custom dashboards and your reports in any interface, and they're all accessible in touch. But as a sales engineer who wants to work on this transaction, you got to get to the opportunity. You got to work on this deal. You got to see what people are saying about this transaction. If you get notified by your account executive that you want to tweak the deck, you might have another idea. You can share those ideas directly here through the touch interface. Also, Chatter Now capability through this interface as well. And as we post that from the touch screen, the entire system operates in real time. For our account executive, let's go ahead and take a look at that feed. If we could zoom into the bottom there, Dan, what you're going to see is that just seconds ago here at Dreamforce, via Salesforce Touch. So the entire system is connected. And now our sales team is operating at an amazing pace. We've got the killer slide presentation. We are in lockstep on the killer pitch. Scrolling up, we know immediately who the key decision makers are. We know who to target in the meeting. We've got the pricing strategy. We've got the discount approved by our boss. We're ready to go. But wait, look at the top of the screen. Christine, just got off the phone with our customer. And now the VP, Melissa, is going to be in the meeting. Well, how do we know who our customers are? How do we know who Melissa is? How does the entire deal team get up to speed on Melissa? Because you may be wondering, what if my social customer profiles look like this? What if I don't have their email addresses? What if I don't have their phone numbers? What if I don't know who they are? The map doesn't even display. Well, that's why we're introducing a new service today, data.com. Because with data.com, you can pull this information out of the cloud. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, Salesforce, your system might not have it. But data.com has the contact information. It has the business information through our new partnership with Dun & Bradstreet. And literally, with one click, when Dan clicks update, we're going to pull that information out of the cloud, and the entire social customer profile is going to light up. That is the power of data.com, and now you know who your customer is. You can see what they're doing out on Facebook. You can see what they're publicly posting on Twitter. You can learn more information about your customer so you can develop the rapport and get information like their Twitter feed, their Facebook feed that is public. This is how you differentiate yourself. This is how you win your transactions. And when it's time to go on the sales call, what would we do, Dan? Many people have been wondering. You know, we get on airplanes and we fly out to meet customers, but more and more today, our customer meetings are conducted online. And you've been asking us, why can't I just set up a meeting inside of Salesforce? Why can't I just conduct a meeting online with Salesforce? Because that's the app our sales reps are using. That is now the power of meetings inside of Chatter and the Sales Cloud. You now can conduct a business meeting right inside of the application. You can bring your customer into that meeting. It's a social experience with your customer. You can deliver that killer slide presentation directly online. And when you feel great about forecasting that business, when the order comes across the finish line, right in the customer group. Let's go ahead and close out our deal. And I'll show you one final thing. One final new aspect of the Sales Cloud and Touch. Let's flip our stage from value prop into closed. Because the entire system is one integrated app. Everything integrates in real time. And that means not only in your chatter feed as an account executive, you get an immediate chatter post directly from the dashboard saying you have exceeded your quota, but not only is that phenomenal for a sales rep, the entire deal team, the entire team can celebrate in real time on touch, because touch is pervasive on any device. Let's bring it up, Dan. Let's bring up the iPad. Let's bring up the Honeycomb system. Let's bring up your iPhones, your BlackBerries, your Droids, every single major mobile device, the power of HTML5 and touch.salesforce.com is part of the Sales Cloud. Thank you.
Great job. All right, isn't that amazing? And that's a huge advancement in sales technology. And to talk about that, I've invited Bob Toohey, the president of Verizon. Bob, would you come on up here and just talk to us about that today? Please welcome Bob.
How are you?
Welcome, Bob.
Well, thanks for having me.
Bob is our newest customer of the Sales Cloud. We're delighted to have you as part of Verizon.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Great to be part of this. This is really, really exciting. Thanks. You know, really can
you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Now he's being a jokester. What phone do we have over here? Should I ask everybody if they're having a Verizon phone or do they have an AT&T and which one they have, or
Bob,
we'll leave that alone?
Bob, this is your stage time. I don't know if you want to make a poll like that without knowing.
No, I think, you know, when we first met in your office, probably almost a year ago, the social enterprise and where we're going, we were completely aligned. How to enable that and what we look at and what we're doing in Verizon and where we see this as our opportunity is how do we enable this ecosystem? I mean, your vision, what you laid out here, that's now what we need to do for businesses. Where employee demographics, the employees are coming into the business, the way they want to work, we need to make that ecosystem work through our networks, through security, and making the dual persona, if you will. When people use their devices, one of the things that we're challenged with all the time is how do we just make this flexible and open? And we need to do that, and that's really where we're going to come into play on this. We need to bring that flexibility where you can have your personal in your work environment, you can create that B2B to C experience, and then the employee, like you said. So doing that in a very simplified way is what we're going to really make sure that we enable and we help do that and really partner with you on that.
But Bob, you know, when you look out at all these customers, and you're flying around like I am to all these customers, because every time I call you, you're in a different city with a different customer, what do you see happening? How are they becoming social enterprises?
You know, I mean, I don't want to repeat, you've really laid it out here. It's exactly what you said. They want to know more about their customer. You talk about the data in the networks. You talk about how you look at identity. I'll use an example. You go into that hotel you talked about in Boston, using identity management, using a secure, they should know you're on your way in. They know you're there. We know how that would work. We can bring those technologies, and that's what really they're asking for. Customers want to be able to say, I want the flexibility, whether the flexibility through the cloud, through their information, and they want to just integrate that and make that the way they work every day.
Well, a lot of customers are here going to want to meet with you, Bob, and knowing the president of Verizon came to Dreamforce is exciting. And let me ask you, you stick around and talk to customers when the show's over?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. I had a feeling.
Looking forward to it.
Hey, thanks for being here. Bob Toohey,
Great.
Please thank him. All right, Verizon, our newest Sales Cloud customer. And now let me tell you that I've seen so many exciting Sales Cloud stories in this audience, it was hard for us to pick the customer that we were going to profile for today's event. But we found an incredible story, and we want to show you really the customer that we think is the best practice that all of us can learn from in deploying our sales solution. And I want to thank and I want to congratulate also John Sabino, who led this implementation at NBC Universal. And now I want to take a look at this tremendous work of NBC. Please join me.
As businesses move into the 21st century, you need social collaboration tools. You need a tool like Salesforce that can pull everything together. Key thing is, how can you get this social information to the account executive, the right information that they're looking for at the right time? Salesforce has enabled the social enterprise within NBC Universal. What do I mean by that? NBC Universal is made up of approximately 20 plus media properties.
Really, none of them are the same. As much as you try to standardize, they all act differently.
Without Salesforce, NBC was a little bit disjointed.
What we wanted to do was architect Salesforce to be the one view for social collaboration across our entire enterprise.
We do 2 million spots a year on NBC and the properties and the cable properties. And we've become efficient by using Chatter and accounting for those 2 million spots.
I'm significantly more connected than I've ever been. The collaboration with marketing over the last 6-7 months has been meteoric.
Whether I'm on CNBC and I want to know what Telemundo is doing, I can go into Salesforce and I can find it there.
If I want to offer a client Mad Money, I can go into the file libraries, type in Mad Money, and up pops a list of all these different opportunities.
We've deployed iPads to all of our account executives, and they use these quite aggressively.
Folks like that they were able to log in, not just at work, but also at home, on the road.
They can pull down the marketing deck, they can update their meeting notes, they can update their opportunities.
You're free to venture out and try different things and take some three-point shots.
The first week we launched this application, we had a 300% return on investment. Social collaboration, social networking, it's here to stay. Salesforce has really helped us capture the collaboration going on across all of our properties, and it's really helping us mobilize and grow the company.
You know, when I'm a customer of Bank of America, and one of the things that I noticed was I had the ability to go right onto Twitter, and when I need help from Bank of America, all I do is I just go to twitter.com/BofA_help. And this is the modern branch. Bank of America is becoming a social enterprise. And the way that they're doing that is by opening their new branch office, not down the street, but on Twitter. Here it is. This is the modern branch. And you don't want to know how we became aware of this? Because all of a sudden what we saw was right on these tweets. As the tweets are happening, you'll see they're all coming from via CRM, via CRM. Those tweets are not coming from a Bank of America customer service agent in the back who's on Twitter, you know, or on their iPad. No, they're actually coming from our command centers that we've built for Bank of America. And through those customer service consoles, their thousands of agents around the world can work directly with their customers on Twitter. If you have a problem, you have an issue, you need to go see the bank, you need to go talk to the bank, you want to find out where the ATMs are, this is where you go now. This is the modern branch, and this is evolving. That's incredible. That's an incredible story about a modern bank becoming a social enterprise. But let me say this, it's not just about banks. It's not just about game companies. You know, here's an airline that I use whenever I fly to Europe, KLM. And if you go to twitter.com/KLM, you'll see that modern ticket office is there on Twitter. You have an issue with KLM, you want to ask them a question, you need something to be resolved with your ticket, you have a customer service problem, you're on board your flight or you're in the airport, they are paying attention to you. KLM has become a social enterprise. Their customer service is deeply integrated into the modern social networks. That's amazing. And how do we know? Because you can see these things are coming from via CRM. Because we've built a command center and a control center that lets KLM talk to all of its customers around the world right on Twitter. That's amazing. That is amazing. But KLM has taken it to a level like I've never seen. And I'll tell you how I got to this. I was actually using this Twitter site. I was on there, and I was on Twitter, and I was on KLM, and I was getting information, talking to them, having a conversation. And then I went to Google, and I was typing KLM, and up came this YouTube video, and it was all about KLM Surprise, which is what they're doing with this information. And I wanted to bring this back to you. This is a video produced by KLM that we grabbed off of YouTube, and it was so inspiring to us about what a modern social enterprise is. I said, you know what, this is the best practice. Everyone at Dreamforce needs to see this. Let's roll the video.
Welcome to KLM Surprise. Armed with our social media toolkit, our little experiment began. First job. Find KLM passengers who had checked into their flight via one of KLM's 4 square locations or left a message through Twitter. Second job. Search their social profiles, get to know them in a discreet manner, to think of a personalized gift.
Als zij een heel sportief iemand is en een weekend Rome gaat doen, ja, die is het misschien leuk als we haar zo'n Nike Plus bandje geven.
Third job. Hunt them down and deliver the gift.
Goedemiddag. Je liet ons weten via Twitter dat je met ons reist vandaag. Ja. Dus we hebben een kleinigheidje voor je gekocht.
Nou, wat leuk.
Om je een hele fijn weekend is het geloof ik, hè?
Ja, weekend.
Fijn weekend.
Ik zit er al, die goed voor is.
Dag meneer Luisberg.
Dat ben ik.
Bent u mevrouw Bergen, mevrouw Sauenaar? Hallo.
Ik vind dit enorm fijn.
Ja?
Ja. Super, dankjewel. Ik zal daar meteen even twitteren.
After several weeks of handing out little gifts, a few things became apparent. In the age of social media, doing something that creates a real smile on somebody's face is much cooler than attaching a smiley face. But most importantly, it seemed that indeed an airline could use social media to both surprise and make a small difference to a passenger's day. And we're not just guessing that. We know.
Pretty exciting, huh? Isn't that a great video? KLM's a great airline. I want to thank them for making that great video, so inspiring. You know, Verizon, NBC, Zynga, Bank of America, KLM, social enterprises. We're seeing them emerge. We're seeing these social enterprises emerge, but are we all stepping up to transform our companies? Do our CEOs understand? Does the C-suite understand? Does the board understand? Does their management team understand? Do our employees understand that we need to transform to become a social enterprise? That's our message. That is what's so important here today. And that's why with the Service Cloud, we have extended it. We've extended it so that the agent collaboration and the knowledge, the communities, the social monitoring, the contact center, the dashboards and reports are more integrated in the social networks than ever before. That is a powerful part of the social enterprise story. And we're extending it again. Today, we're introducing a great new product. Service Cloud, now with Chatter Service. Now you can put Chatter right onto your website, right onto your customer portals. You can build your own Chatter communities with knowledge feeds and suggested knowledge and crowdsourced answers and connect to the customer networks and agent escalation. Service Cloud with Chatter Service. Chatter Service is going to a new level. It's taking the Service Cloud even higher. Service Cloud has been our most exciting, most dynamic new product. It has the fastest growth rate of any of our technologies. I want you to see this great new version of the Service Cloud. Kraig, come on back out here and show us a demo. Please welcome Kraig Swensrud.
This is one of the most exciting because the area of customer service has been completely transformed over the past couple years with the rise of social media. Let's get to the demo of Service Cloud. Let's bring it up on the screen. You can see we're in the Service Cloud app in the upper right, and now a service agent has access to all the core channels of customer service: the phone, email, chat, web self-service, live agent, and even what it's been about for the past couple years, social conversations. And it all started with Twitter. Let's bring up Twitter. It all started out at Twitter. Because when Twitter began amassing users, the entire system was public. So when this user, Katie, had a question about a product or service, she didn't pick up the telephone. She didn't send an email into the company. She just posted on Twitter because she was hoping that the hundreds of millions of people out on Twitter could give her the answer. But in today's world, while we've been showing you this technology for a couple years, in today's world, it goes even further. How about YouTube? How about YouTube? We are all walking around with cameras in our pockets. In 30 seconds, we can take a snapshot and upload a video for the entire world to see. We're sharing videos of our problems. We're sharing videos of our customer experiences. But it's not just Twitter and YouTube. It's all about Facebook. Because every company is flocking to Facebook to put up a corporate homepage on Facebook. And now when this user, Melissa Lee, on the right-hand side, has a question, she can just go to the corporate homepage on Facebook and post her question. You've got Twitter, you've got YouTube, You've got Facebook. But how is your company engaged? How is your customer service organization engaged? Well, with the Service Cloud, our company today, our demo company, Cirrus Technologies, is doing just that. They are engaged in these channels. Let's go and take a look at those social conversations, Dan. Because what you're going to see up here on the screen is that in real time, we just brought those conversations in. This is no joke. This is live right here at Dreamforce. The Twitter post, the YouTube post, the Facebook post, in real time, they show up in the Service Cloud. And we can take action because of the process and the workflow. We can route the cases based on the product or the post that's posted online. We can route it to the right person to solve the problem. Some cases are really easy. You know this. They're one and done, we call it in the customer service world. But some cases are more complex. And this is really where the social collaboration inside the enterprise is really important. Let's do it, Dan. Let's go ahead and escalate this case. And what you're going to be able to see is that we just looped 4 more people into the chatter feed. Not only the engineers that could solve the problem, but also the sales rep. So the sales rep can stay on top of this customer service case, even though he's not in that department. One integrated system that comes from Salesforce. And when the engineers solve the problem, they just post the answer into the company knowledge base that begins being exposed everywhere. And that means we can grab the article out of the knowledge base as the service rep and attach it back out to the case. Well, that's great. But how do we get this information back out to our customer? Because we don't have our customer's email address. We don't have our customer's phone number. Our customer's out on Facebook. So how do we get this information back out to Facebook? Well, from the Service Cloud, we can just post it directly back out to Facebook. And you see right here on the screen, an entire record of that conversation is logged. It's part of your customer Melissa's social profile now. But let's go back out to Facebook. Let's flip it around. Let's check out Facebook. Because what you're going to see up here on the screen is in real time. Check out the wall at Cirrus Computers on Facebook. Cirrus Computers just responded to Melissa's question right where she needed help. This is the new world of customer service that we're living in. This is where we need to go. And we need to give our customers more. Dan, if we can click that hyperlink, what you're going to see is that we can bring Melissa to an entire self-service experience where she can get access to that knowledge article, print it out, even embedded video and rich media in these knowledge articles. But you can transform your entire customer self-service operation into an online community, a thriving community, and that's what we're introducing with Service Cloud with Chatter Service. The ability to take our chatter technology and all of the paradigms of social networking and extend it out to your customer community. So your customer community is not static online, it's living and breathing, it's alive. Your customers can interact with one another. We can bring in information from the social networks. You can see that right here on the screen. If we wanted to post another question, just type our question into this box, and you're going to see the system's automatically going to start recommending. It's going to recommend other questions, other answers. And maybe this one solved our problem, maybe it didn't. If it didn't, we go ahead and continue, and we can post it right here to the online community on our website, or we can cross-post it out to Facebook and out to Twitter. So you really start to see how all of these social networks really connect people together. And you need to engage in these networks to connect with these folks and service your customers in an entirely new way. And while we're moving the world of customer service forward, we cannot leave any technology behind. And that means even in the call center. So what would happen at your company? Well, what happens at Cirrus Technologies when a call comes into the call center? Well, of course, we're integrated to the telephony. So we get a screen pop. We can answer the phone in the browser. We know immediately who we're talking to. We have the customer social profile right in front of us. Today, it's Sarah Patel. And of course, we can flip through what she's talking about online. We can make sure that we're servicing her in the best way possible. But over the telephone, our agent would begin by creating a new case. So let's do that, if we could please, Dan. Let's go ahead and create a new case for Sarah. Hey, Sarah, what seems to be the problem today? Well, I'm having trouble getting the high-def video working on my video conferencing system. Can you help me out? Absolutely. You know, this is a problem that we've seen. We've established a workaround for this problem. So let's go ahead and reach into the knowledge base, and I can guide you to the answer. And call scripting. Hey, Sarah, what version of the unit are you using? Great, you're using the newest one. Do you happen to know which version of the firmware you're using? That could really help me out. And you see at the bottom of the screen, the knowledge base is recommending the right answer. So as a customer service rep on the telephone, I could attach this knowledge article back out to the case, and I could relay the information over the telephone, or I can email it to my customer. But in today's world, as Mark was saying, in today's world where the entire world has gone social, where the entire world has already gone mobile, maybe we can do something better. Hey, Sarah, you don't happen to be calling us from your iPhone today, or maybe your iPad, do you? Well, why don't we just do a FaceTime? Why don't we just do a FaceTime, and maybe I can walk you through this. Hey, Sarah.
Hey there.
How's it going?
Well, I've got this meeting in like 10 minutes, and I can't get my monitor to work. Can you help me out?
Absolutely. I'm going to send you all this information, but I see the unit behind you. Why don't I just walk you through it right now?
Great.
Good. If you can open up the control panel, it's right under the TV screen.
Here?
I need to see, yeah, it's called the DVI cable. It's a big fat black cable over on the left. It's second from the left.
This one?
Just to the right of that.
This one?
Right. If you could pull that out for me, I need to see how many ports that you've got. Yep, so on this version of the product, we've actually got an issue. We know we're going to resolve that. I'm going to get that to you quickly. But as a workaround right now to get you going, go ahead and plug that into the bottom port, and you should immediately get HD to the screen. Tell me what you see.
Oh, it's working. Great. Thank you so much.
Great. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nope, that's perfect.
Great. Thank you so much, and say hi to everybody at Dreamforce.
Hey, Dreamforce.
So you really see a new world of customer service emerge, whether it's social networking, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all of these technologies directly into the call center. This is the new world of the social enterprise for customer service with the Service Cloud. Thanks. Back to Mark.
So we're walking through our employee social network in sales, in service, in the collaboration. We've talked about the enterprise, customer social profile. Now I want to talk about automating, extending, building the custom applications to drive the rest of the enterprise. We recognize your companies are all in unique industries. You have unique business processes, unique workflow, unique languages and vocabulary inside your organizations. How do you build those custom applications, but that they're still social, that are mobile, that are open, that are real time? We've seen incredible work from all of you as you deliver that social enterprise platform for employee apps. We've seen companies like Avon, like Facebook, like Kelly, BMC, and so many others build dramatic and exciting and really breakthrough apps. We've seen you run your back office using Salesforce's platform. Tomorrow, we're dedicating our entire keynote to the platform. And it will feature Tim Campos, the CIO of Facebook, who's right here. Hey, Tim, would you just stand up? Welcome to Dreamforce. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me here.
And Tim, please welcome Tim Campos. Tim, can you just give us an insight into what we're going to see tomorrow? But how is Facebook running its back office using Force.com?
So one of the defining characteristics of Facebook as a company from an IT perspective is we grew up in this cloud computing world that you're talking about. And as a result of that, we've been able to adopt that across the board on all of our information systems. 70% of our enterprise applications are running in the cloud. A majority of those are running on Force.com, and that helps us move faster, it helps us be more efficient as an IT organization, and therefore more productive as a company.
Really excited. Well, we're excited to see your message tomorrow. And hey, thanks for being here. And if some of our customers want to come up and talk to you after the keynote, can they do that? Absolutely. Tim Campos, please thank him for being here today. And now I have another very special guest. Now, we've put together an incredible trade show for you of hundreds, over 300 companies that are building these open and social, real-time, dynamic applications. And I want to introduce my co-founder of Salesforce.com, Parker Harris, who's somewhere out on the trade show floor. Parker, are you there? Parker, are you there? Whoa, 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 there he is.
Right
Fantastic,
here.
Parker.
I'm
welcome.
right here. So I'm standing here in the expo.
Please welcome Parker Harris, co-founder of Salesforce.com. Welcome, Parker.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here in the expo and in the campground. I'm standing on the plushest carpet you can imagine. It's like I'm standing in a cloud. It's really amazing. And you were just saying you're walking through the social enterprise. Well, I'm actually walking through it right here. If you come over here, I want to show you something. Over here, you talked about the customer social profile. We've got it right here at the heart of this campground. And if you look, when you come here, and I want all of you attendees to come here, I'm over here at the campground. You probably saw that slide where there's the developer zone as well. But amazing stuff is going on here. And with this social profile...
Parker, forget about that. How do I get one of those T-shirts behind you? I mean, that's,
oh,
you know, the social profile thing is great.
Right here. She's going to help us out. Check this out, all right? Do you love San Francisco?
All right,
or do you cloud San Francisco? It's a little, you know. And then we have a bus as well. So if you come here, you might have to do a little something to get these
That's good
T-shirts.
because Neil Young is here and he'll be able to relate to that bus. Actually.
Neil, I'll hold on to a T-shirt for you and MC Hammer, no problem. So with the customer social profile, you know, it's all about all the information coming from everywhere, as Dan was saying earlier. We talked about data.com. I'm just going to take a little data from that cloud, from our data.com cloud.
That's fantastic, Parker. Is that a new product?
That is a new product that, that we're announcing here at the show. And we're going to talk a lot more about it, but I want you guys to come here to the campground and check it out for yourself.
Very exciting.
Okay? Now come with me just a little bit further, Mark.
Sure, I've got all the time in the day, Parker.
Okay.
Take your time.
Now you don't have to actually walk with me, Mark, because you're not with me. But
Parker, I'm always with you.
Last year we talked about our Service Cloud, and we have a live call center going on here with every single channel you can imagine. You just saw FaceTime on stage there. We've got FaceTime live here, and many customers are already doing this, all of these technologies. If you're not, come here and check it out, and you can see how you can take all these technologies and make them real for you in supporting your customers. And use that Dreamforce app, because that Dreamforce app is all going here live into the campground.
Very, very exciting. So if you need help at Dreamforce, you have all these great options. You can do pound help, you can email, you can come on Facebook, Twitter. It's awesome.
Yeah, or FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Yeah, because you know, Mark, it's all about the picture. It's all about who you are, and social is about knowing these people. What a better way to get a little video to see that customer live in action.
Very exciting.
Yeah. All right, come over here. I've got my friends here.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Chatty.
Fantastic.
Sassy.
Chatty and sassy.
All right, we got some things over here. Now, last year, unfortunately, okay, they're getting really excited.
They are
here.
Excited.
Look, check this out.
You're far more excited, though.
Come here. So, Mark, last year was a little embarrassing.
That's the new iPad getting announced today.
Well, Mark, it was a little embarrassing.
Fantastic.
Last year,
the SuperPad.
Last year, you pulled an iPad out of your pants. I asked that they create one that was a little too large so that actually was not possible.
I appreciate that.
So we have one here on the show floor. You know, it's a little large, but you can come here and play with this. It's so cool. All right, check this out. Like, I could go to Google+, I could check that out. We've got App Exchange here. We've got Facebook. But what I want to show you is I want to show you touch. Because touch, for me, you talked a little bit about it on stage, but touch is more than just an application. It's a platform. It's a set of technologies. Our customers don't want things built just for them, you know, that we say, this is what you're going to have.
So this is your new HTML5 interface to all of Salesforce's apps and platform, touch.salesforce.com.
That's right. This is our HTML5 technology, live in action on a sales tablet, on an iPad. This technology is going to permeate everything that we do. It's going to be on iPhones and Android devices, but don't think of it just as mobile. It's also going to be in the browsers. It's the future of our user experience, and it's completely in our customers' control, what they want to do with it. So check this out. Like, I can, if I get this right, I can scroll the chatter feed. You know, I've got this cool new thing here. I'm going to go check out an account so I can get some details here. I'm going to go look at Hudson Hotels. Here we've got some details on an account. And again, we're starting to use...
What if I had a custom object that I built? Will it show up there on the tab list?
Yeah, funny you should ask that. So this account has some orders on it, which is a custom object. And I'm just going to tap on that custom object. We're using these new UI paradigms of touch. So you saw that slide in of this panel.
Very cool.
It's multiple panels. I can make that panel go away if I want to go back to the account. I can see the details of the account again. And this is all technology that we're going to give to our customers. We're going to give you an application, but we're also going to give you a platform. That's who we are at Salesforce.
That's really exciting. Please thank Parker Harris. Great vision there.
Touch.salesforce.com.
The campground is awaiting all of us.
Please come.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Thanks, Parker. You know,